Hello, Chris Pickard here, Director of Body Imbalance in Hertfordshire. I've spent the last 20 years helping people with all kinds of health conditions, mainly painful ones, but also nutritional metabolic ones as well. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm formerly a chiropractor, and I have basically over the past few years really been learning heaps and heaps and heaps from one of the world's leading experts on functional health and functional medicine, and that's Dr. Bob Rakowski in the United States. In the United States, Dr. Rakowski is known for helping elite athletes, whether it's world champions, Olympic athletes, American football players who've got millions and are seeking out the best advice. No one else can help them to turn them around to get their injury working better, to get rid of their injury or to get them performing better. So they go to Dr. Rakowski. And he takes this performance nutrition and he gives it to people who are very sick, people who've been told they've got no choice but to have surgery or to just take loads of drugs or even just to go and die. And he manages with an awful lot of people to help give them new hope and new life. And that's how I met him. A friend of mine basically had no hope, and now 4 years later she's bright and sparky and full of hope and no problems. So I'm also learning from a second functional health guru called Dr. Daniel Pompa, who is bringing an amazing cellular detox program to the world, which I'm going to help you now understand the basics of why the cell is the most important thing to understand when it comes to your health. And if you can focus on getting your cells healthy and understand the things that it needs to be healthy, then it doesn't matter what you have, whether you've got chronic back pain, fibromyalgia, brain fog, dementia, Alzheimer's, cancer, diabetes, it's going to help you. It may not necessarily cure you, but it's going to help you get over things more easily, and it's going to help you have a better life. So what is a cell? A cell is basically a sphere, okay? A cell is the single most, is the smallest functional unit of whatever part of your body you're looking at. It's a brain cell in the brain, it's an eye cell in the eye, it's a nerve cell in the nervous system, it's a muscle in the muscles, it's a muscle cell in the muscles, it's a bone cell in the bones. Okay, and if the cells are working in each area properly and they're working in coordination with those around them, then the bone's going to be healthy and happy, the nerve's going to be healthy and happy, the brain will be healthy and happy. Now at the center of the cell, you have a nucleus, tiny little dot there. That's where all the DNA is. That's the blueprint of your body. Okay? Then you have these little things. Looks a bit scary, doesn't it? That looks very scary. You have these little things that basically look a little bit like bacteria under a microscope, but they're not bacteria. They're what are called the mitochondria. And the mitochondria are the powerhouses. They're the energy producers of the cell. They're the things that give it and you energy. Okay? Now, there are three things that a cell needs. Three. Okay? And if you can tell from the direction of the arrows, it needs two things coming in, one thing going out. So, any guesses as to what the two things going in that it needs the most? Well, if you said something like water, oxygen, vitamins, minerals, anything that you think of that might be a nutrient, that's one thing. Okay? A big capital N for nutrients. If you do not supply the cell with all the nutrients it needs to produce energy, if you don't provide it with all the nutrients it needs to build other cells, to build proteins, to build the building blocks of all the cells that your body needs, then you're not going to be able to build what you need. So if you're not eating very healthily and you're not supplementing, then the chances of your cells getting what they need to make more healthy cells are pretty unlikely. So it means you can have all the physical therapy, all the massage, you can have all the best will in the world. But if you're not putting the right things in here, then your cells are not going to work and your body will not be what it needs to be for you. Okay, so what's the second thing? Well, we're going to deal with the arrow out. Okay? Waste. Cell needs to get rid of its waste. Just like a car needs to get rid of its exhaust fumes. I mean, if you pumped all the exhaust fumes back into the car's not going to be a very healthy place. I mean, the outside of the car and the exhaust fumes are not healthy to begin with. But imagine if in your house all the waste just built up everywhere. Is the house going to be healthy? Even if you get lots of drugs, for instance, air spray to get rid of the odours and the smells, or if you've got all the maggots on the floor and you've got rats and you keep on putting down all the poisons, all things to kill the rats, to kill the problems, they're going to keep on coming back. And this is one of the biggest problems in many people today. They're just not getting rid of all the waste from their body. So infections keep on coming back, health problems keep on coming back, pain stays there. You may think you're getting all the nutrients in you need, you may be exercising, you may be getting the physical therapy, but the problems keep coming back, and all the drugs, again, they're more toxins as well. It's because there's so much waste in the area. I mean, how do you think your house would be if you just got loads and loads of hormone pills and statin pills and headache pills and you crushed them all up and you spread them everywhere around the house? It's not going to stop infections and bacteria at all. And it's the same in the human body. Drugs don't make cells work better. The only things that make cells work better is by giving them what they need and helping them get rid of all the crud and the waste. The third thing a cell needs, NS. It needs a nerve supply. A cell needs to be told what to do. If you don't tell the cell what it's got to do, okay, it doesn't read its own DNA. It's got to be told what to do from the outside. And what it's told to do from the outside will determine then what it does, whether it behaves well or whether it doesn't behave at all. Whether it does what it's meant to do or whether it just goes, I'm not being told what to do. I mean, if you didn't have a purpose in life, if you didn't have to go to work, if you had no family to look after, if there was like no TV to watch, no books to read, and you had no ambition, you had no creativity, you just sit there as a blob and you would die. Okay, it's the same with a cell. If it's not told what to do, it will just die from apathy, or it will become cancerous, because if it's not told what to do, it doesn't specialize and it just tries to do everything. And that's basically what a cancer cell is trying to do. It's trying to do all sorts of different things, and it's not good. The same, if you don't feed a cell what it wants nutritionally, it can become cancerous. If it can't get rid of all of its waste, it can become cancerous. And so you've got to look after these three things to make a cell as happy and healthy as it can be, and to make you as healthy and as happy as you can be. So if you have any questions, type them below, and I look forward to telling you about the one part of the cell that is the most important, that if you look after that, then it ensures that all these things happen properly, because we can look after all these, but if we're missing one other thing, you still are not going to have the health that you want. Be well. See you next time.